Hello YouTube, and hello to all you pipers out there. Today it's Easter Monday here in Germany, and I have the time now to come back to the Vauen pipe collection. Maybe some of you remember I have visited their workshop at the beginning of March, and at that time the spring-summer edition was not officially released. So for that reason I could not show that pipe collection in my video, but now they are officially released and I can show something and say a few words about this. But first of all, I'm gonna sip on this one. This one, it's glimming still. Look at this. This one is a Vauen Luxus, means luxury in English. And yes, I don't have that much bend pipes, but this is one of them. The shape number, I wrote it down, is 35, and it has an ebonite stem with a P-lip. And sometimes in the especially in the classical series, Vauen also produces P-lip stems. So not only Peterson, Vauen also, and I know for sure that sometimes Savinelli has P-lips also. I bought this one at eBay, shot this one for quite cheap, and it was in a terrible condition. This ebonite stem was completely in a light brown yellowish tone. The silver was not to be seen, and the wood needed indeed some love. And I tried it all myself and was not too bad. The only thing that I did not manage is really here to make the finer parts of the P-lip that I gave to the pipe maker and have that fixed. Before I go into it, what do I smoke in my pipe? Today, you saw it on the thumbnail, I think. This is the Vauen Auenland Broken Flake. And I'll open the tin and I can show you the tobacco. It is Virginia Burley, a bit of Kentucky and a pinch of Perique. And the tobacco looks like this. Let's see, hold it in the camera. Come on. So, I think that's good to see here. Yeah, you see, quite rough. And there is no flavor in there, so it's all natural tobacco. And I think for this mixture, it's not a mixture, but for this tobacco combination, this is not so rare, so I don't think that the wheel was reinvented here. This one again has the text label of COP. So this one, I just look at it, yeah, COP. So COP Tobacco is making this for Vauen. Just sipping a cup of coffee. Yes, there are a few things that I can say. The taste is quite good. It's afternoon now. What do you have? Look at the shortly 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And it's a nice and spicy aroma, not aroma, a nice and spicy taste, but not overwhelming. The P-lip from Vauen has a different feeling in the mouth than the one from Peterson, but nevertheless, that's an older pipe here. It's very good, and there is not so much moisture in there, and with this pipe I don't have that tongue bite. Nevertheless, I have filter crystals in here. Yeah. So something very nice and conservative, and As I said, I think the wheel is not reinvented. You will have, I'm sure, something comparable in your market where you buy your tobaccos. About Vauen, I go through the video step by step. If I have some photos that I shot myself, I show them in advance, and I try to make some chapters, and at some points I would like to show the catalog which I have here, and then I can say a few words, and at the end I'm gonna tell one little story that I've left out in my recent video that I have that has been taken place in Nuremberg in the afternoon after I have finished my visit at the manufacturers. So, chapter 1, the first thing that I would like to show is the Vauen Pipe of the Year 2025. Well, and on the catalog, it's the first thing that we can see here. That is their latest catalog. Here, the 2025 is, or the Pipe of the Year. Should I say it's their flagship? I don't know. It's here, the motto of this spring-summer edition is, this is the outdoor pipe collection, and that's why you see here the tent under the stars, and then the pipe displayed. Looking into this, the Pipe of the Year is available in different versions, so you can see that here. And I saw this pipe during my visit in Nuremberg, and Mr. Ramsauer had at this very moment one example without a filter system, and that was meant to be for the export market. And when he held it in his hand, I immediately had the impression, well, this shape reminds me of something. And yes, I think I can say that it reminds me quite a lot of the Savinelli 320 shape. And I don't know if it's an appropriate idea, if it's a good idea. My impression, my feeling is, and was at that time also, why mimic a shape of Savinelli? So I didn't see a point. I don't know if it's a good idea. I only say what is what was and what is still now my impression. The second pipe I would like to briefly discuss is one that causes a lot of debates here in Germany. It is the Vauen UFO. By the way, the photos that I show have been shot in Bensheim, when there was the tobacco testing at Rauchkultur Seiler. I didn't shoot these photos in the factory itself. It was with the permission of the sales representative of Vauen, and that photos have been made in Bensheim. So, without further ado, let's look at the UFO. Yes, and that's how it looks in the catalog. And the first thing that I thought, I said, goodness, what strange flunder is this one? And well, and it has a metal inlay here, and I think it's 18 millimeters, and it also has a converter, so you can smoke this one with a 6 millimeter filter and with a 9 mil filter. And you can imagine that the discussions are widely spread in the German pipe community, depending to which generation you may belong to. And yes, the older generation, and that is including me, so the 50 plus generation, has some doubts about this shape and says, this is not really a classical pipe shape, and that is not what we are expecting. We're expecting something else. And it's available in 3 different types of wood. And what do young people consume with this? That's a big point of debate here. I just want to relight my pipe briefly. And I must say, I find it also somehow strange. This is really a strange pipe. And concerning the shape and the look of it and the aesthetics of it, I should say no, that one is definitely not for me. However, there are two interesting things with this. On the one hand, it's quite affordable, and I would be interested, but just for my interest, would be interested how this pipe performs with a normal pipe tobacco. But just to satisfy my curiosity, nah, I give it a miss anyway. So definitely this pipe is not for me. But I must also say that it has a right to exist if people want to have such a style for whatever use. I don't know. It's not interesting for me. If these products have a market, then I think it's good that Vauen Pipe Company reacts to this. I mentioned that in my recent video. I hinted the things, but I couldn't show the pipe. I said, yeah, they are a company. They have to make revenue, and they have to survive not only today, but also next year and 10 years from now. And in that case, it's necessary to set a trend and not to follow a trend or to miss a trend. So, and if probably the younger generation would like to smoke this type of pipe, it would be from the economic perspective not wise. Just say, no, that's a strange pipe. We don't make it. Sorry. I would like to see that the Vauen company exists also in 10 years from now. Yeah, it is a pity that other German companies closed, and I don't know if it's really the last one, but it's at least one of the last companies here existing. And from my perspective, it would be very sad. So I think I need to expand my mind and my tolerance, and I think I can do that and say, yes, it's not for me, but this pipe has for sure the right to exist. The next pipe I would like to discuss briefly is the Vauen Oregon, looking like this. And here I have the photo from the catalog. Here we have again classical shape, classical colors, and here, if you look closer, this is a ring system. And in my first video, I saw that pipe in the production process. Good tobacco. And we had the chance to talk briefly with a woman who was really working at that workstation and having all the patience and the skill really to take the glue, sticking all that ring stuff together. And it takes a lot of steps really to put this pipe together. A lot of working hours, resting hours. But I think the Oregon will be indeed a crowd pleaser. It will be pleasing, looking for many generations, not only for the older ones, the younger ones, which also I think can also go for it. The shapes are not really new. If I could, if the fairy comes and says I grant you a wish, well, probably that Vauen is probably more creative with the shapes. Just looking down because the catalog is lying here. Yeah, that is the Oregon, and I think it will find his lovers. I also like it. It looks pretty good. And So far I'm not yet sure if I buy one of these, but the chances are much higher than buying the UFO, I must admit, yeah. Then, what else have we got? I didn't overlook one. Yeah, the Zeppelin. I won't show you. I can briefly show you the Zeppelin, but it's not, from my perspective, not really relevant. This one, looking like the Zeppelin we call an airship. Maybe you remember the Hindenburg, yeah, and yes, this is more for the collectors who want to have something exceptional. This is also limited, and I think from my perspective, nothing for a wider public. The next thing I would like to show is the Vauen Ames. And here we have the picture and the catalog. This is then a church warden, and you can see here a special feature that it is delivered with a longer stem and a shorter stem. And here we can see different versions of it. And that is something that I say, well, that is really a plus and a good reason to buy a pipe, because with the longer and the shorter stem, we get functionality. We get different functionality in that pipe, and that is always something that I'm opting for. I want functionality from my pipes, and the Vauen Ames is delivering both. So, and it is also classical style and has a lot of different versions. Again, I'm just looking down because I have the catalog here, and I think for those who are into this classical pipes, I think everybody can find something appropriate for the personal taste. Then we have the Vauen Hippo. And this is how it looks in the catalog again. This is a black pipe, also in different versions with a rustication. It's called Hippo. But as you see, strangely enough, the ring looks more like the style of a zebra. And the Hippo is something, yeah, could also be a mass pleaser. But for my personal style, I don't like the zebra ring with it. With a silver ring or something else, or a copper ring, that would be something exceptional. But what I do really like, I don't see that very often in the Vauen pipes, is this particular one. A billiard, a straight billiard, but then with the stem a little bit bent down. And this is something for me very nice to smoke, and not looking so boring like this one, this straight billiard. Yeah. So I don't know why this is not so often. I don't see this so often in the Vauen collection. Yes, but I can imagine, just because it's not for my personal taste, also the Hippo will find its customers, and that's quite fine for me. Then we have the Vauen Sienna. And that's how the Sienna looks in the catalog. So here we have something extraordinary. I must just read what wood is this. I think larch wood, Lärchenholz, larch wood, and it has an inlay of briar. Yeah? And then also here nicely carved. And this is a breast ring which is twisted. And then this yellow stem, it has three versions, three shapes looking like this. And it's also again a classic pipe, but it has yellow stems. And you say, crazy Matthias, what do you say against a yellow stem? It's just because that a yellow stem is not really my very personal taste. I'm not so much into yellow stems. But shame on me, I have really one pipe with a yellow stem. But this is really the great exception. I asked the sales representative from Vauen in Bensheim, why didn't you deliver that with a blue, green or red stem? I would go for each of this, but with this yellow stem, yes, making a lot of noise, much ado about nothing, as William Shakespeare, there was a comedy from William Shakespeare, much ado about nothing. Yes, I'm aware of this. So much for the Sienna. What else do we have? I think we are nearly at the end. We have then here a bag, such a thing. As I said, this is the Vauen outdoor collection, and so they have a wrist bag. We can wear it around your wrist, put all your stuff in, put the pipe in, and then you're good to go. But I must admit, probably with 50 plus years, I'm maybe too conservative for this. This is not my personal style. I show you what I rather prefer. I just have it here. Oh, coming back to you. I'd rather go for something like this. This is something that you can hang on the shoulder, Origin leather, a lot of space. That's something that I prefer. Yes, so, and in Bensheim we also had some older pipes, the Vauen Patina. I'll briefly show a photo of this. What I can say about that is this one is made of walnut wood and also has a briar inlay, and I think it's a good idea from Vauen to experiment with different types of wood, and yes, it's also from a cost perspective, it is good to do so. On the other hand, pipes have been made from different types of material and wood. There are hazelnut pipes existing and pipes of bare wood. I have two of pipes made of bare wood, so that is nothing exceptional. Olive wood pipe is also quite popular, so there is no reason why not to use other materials than briar. And so bringing this part of the video to a conclusion, yes, I must expand my mind. Maybe I belong to the older generation, but nevertheless, I must respect that younger generations have other needs. They want other products, and as long as Vauen tries to satisfy all the pipe smokers, the wide variety of pipe smokers, that's fine. The world will go on, never turn backwards, and the world is not as it has been 100 years ago, and 100 years from now it will also not be the same. So I hope that they can make good business with this, and I also know from Mr. Ramsauer they make a lot of pipes for export. So much for the Vauen Spring Summer edition. Wish them the best of luck with it. I promised you a little story related to Nuremberg, but also related to pipe smoking, and that has taken place in the afternoon. I was finished with my tour through the Vauen manufacturer, and it was shortly before 1 o'clock, and nearly the time to take some lunch, and I was sitting outside. There were 14 degrees Celsius, so with my jacket on and my scarf and my hat, it was quite nice. The sun was shining, and I could sit outside and smoke exactly this tobacco here, in a different pipe, however. I've ordered some alcohol-free beer and smoked my pipe. I had an appointment with a colleague. We wanted to take lunch together, and then there was a train delay, and my colleague has wrote me a text, I'm delayed. Say, no problem, I'm sitting here comfortable with my pipe, my tobacco and my beer. Take your time. I order something to eat. And while I was sitting there enjoying my pipe, a younger woman was passing by. She was at the age something between 20 and 30, it's hard to guess, but something in that range. and she wanted to light her cigarette, but she forgot her lighter, and she asked me if she could borrow mine, and I said of course. It was this lighter here, with an old wizard on it. That is a clipper lighter. And we had a brief discussion. She lit her cigarette, and I said, well, what about smoking a pipe? Wouldn't that be something for you? And did you know that here in your city there is a pipe manufacturing company? And she said, yes, she's well aware of that. But she considers pipe smoking to be something for the older generation only. She said, no, I have to be older to smoke a pipe, but you are looking pretty good with your pipe. And I said, well, thank you. So much about the relation between pipe smoking and the appropriate age for pipe smoking. In that case, okay, it's her opinion. That's fine, but I cannot agree. In my pipe club, there are also younger fellows, not much, but they are. Yeah, that was the one story from Nuremberg that I wanted to tell you. I skipped that in my last video because it would have been too long then. Yeah, and maybe for an international pipe smokers, I don't know how familiar you are with the Vauen Pipes. It's a very old traditional German pipe manufacturer, and they survived because they always managed to reinvent themselves and to go with the trends of the time. And I speak very clear here that I think it's necessary to set trends to go with the time. Otherwise, if you are following trends that others set, it's very likely that such companies don't make it, sadly enough. So much for the philosophy. I hope that you had some fun with this video. You saw the latest trends, and then, as always, thank you for your time and for your patience. And then again, I hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye. See you.